people always ask me, like, what can you do in this dimension and in this realm to make your transition to the afterlife easier? Like, what can you do, right?
Yeah. Good
And
question.
my answer is, you know, if we really look at the role that forgiveness plays in life, not only forgiving other people but forgiving ourselves. If we can forgive ourselves, which is even harder a lot of times than forgiving other people, I think that makes it easier, because we won't have these fragmented pieces that have unresolved issues and business and stuff like that. But I don't know. Yeah. Ask me in 10 years. I might have a different answer for you. That's where I'm at now.
I get it. It sounds like you're always learning. So what have you learned about life after death? You mentioned a little bit of stuff, but that people might be interested to know.
Well, you don't die. So death is not real. We're not dead. We're just in a different space. I still feel like we have healing to do. We have growth. We help other people from the other space, the other realm. I can't tell you the number of times I've had spirits come through and say, hey, tell my family that my job on the other side is to help people who have died from drug overdoses come through, or to find peace, or to find their way. And a lot of times it's people that have died from drug overdoses that are then helping people that have also died the same way find their way. And they're also helping people in the living suffering from the same addiction, affliction, issue. And so death isn't real. You just are going to a different space, and it continues on.
So this is a personal question, I guess. I am curious if you get the feeling that there is any suffering there. So like when somebody dies, I feel like as a human, you go through so much suffering, and that trauma and pain can stay with you for the rest of your life, right? I'm curious if you have found, or you have any thoughts on, if there is feelings of like that on the other side, because I would assume
Yes.
they're suffering that they can't be with their loved ones, or they can't explain that they're okay, or whatever it is.
Yeah, no, like I was saying, I experience, especially in the paranormal investigations, where I'm experiencing these parts of the soul that still have not gotten out of the loop of anger or sadness or betrayal. But again, and this is where I say, like, I'm still learning. I don't think the entirety of the soul is going through that. I don't. There's a fragment, there's an aspect. And also, when people have disabilities in this dimension, that goes away. Like, I'll see people that couldn't walk in when they were alive, but they're running. They'll show me, I'm running through the field on the other side, because they want their family to know they can run, they can walk, they can move. So these physical ailments that we experience here do not carry over into the afterlife, because you don't have a body like you have here, right?
Right.
So that's different. Yeah.
Okay. Has a spirit ever come to you and out of nowhere and sort of bothered you enough to be like, I need you to find this person. I need you to contact them?
Good question. The answer is yes. I have felt spirit saying that to me, but I will tell you, I have pretty good boundaries in that sense. I'm not the type of medium that approaches people that I don't know without their permission to give them a reading. I think that is crossing a boundary. I very much ask people, can I share with you what I am seeing? Because we see some shows where, like, the medium is walking up to somebody on the street and saying, hey, I know you don't know me, but your dad's here, hi. It's like, I don't do that. That's not how I operate, because it's important to remember that people have, like, trauma, even with people on the other side. Like, what if I'm re-traumatizing somebody? What if I'm triggering them? What if they're super religious and then they think that whatever I'm seeing is actually demonic and not the soul of their loved one? Then they're walking away thinking a demon's following them. They might be traumatized, and then I'm leaving.
Yeah.
And so I don't operate that way, although I'll say I know mediums that do, and I know people who receive it well. It's personal preference.
Yeah.
But I try to be very mindful of all of those factors, and I try to be very respectful of other people and their emotions.
Have you ever been scared by your own powers or abilities, whatever you call it? What do you call it?
I mean, intuition, abilities,
Intuition.
ability to
Okay.
connect. Yeah. Well, intuition, mediumship. Scared. Like, what do you mean by what I've
Like,
seen and then it's
yes.
happened, or?
Yeah, like by
Yes.
what you've seen, by what you've felt, by what you had to felt obligated to tell someone or not tell someone. I mean, can it be scary?
Yes, it can be scary. One thing I don't like is when I can see uh, when somebody's going to die. I really don't like that. And I'll tell you a story. This happened in, I think it was 2011. So this is going back some time. Um, Somebody had asked me for a reading, and at the time it wasn't like a one-on-one. He just said, I would love a reading. I said, fine, I'll go home, I'll sit down, I'll tap into what I'm experiencing, I'll send you what I got in an email, then you can read it. If you have any questions, let me know. And in the reading, I was seeing he was going to have a heart attack, and I was seeing that it was going to be around Christmas, and that he needed to have his heart looked at. And I was like, great. How do I tell this person what I just saw? Like, this is really tricky because I'm not a doctor. I don't diagnose. So then there's that piece. Then you don't want to scare somebody and you say something that's like really going to freak them out. And so what I said was, look, I'm not trying to scare you, but I feel like you really need to have your heart looked at as soon as possible. Like, again, not trying to scare you, but I really, really think you should get your heart looked at. He died on Christmas Day, literally on Christmas Day of that year. And it was for me really, really difficult because I felt like when I saw it, maybe I didn't say enough. Maybe I didn't push it enough. Um, all of the things like and then being scared of like, how did I see that? Like, I don't want to see those things if I can't do anything to help somebody.